Welcome, everybody. Good to be back
Hello,
for another
everyone.
FunderPro AMA.
Hello, hello.
Tim, Petros, how you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, very
Enjoying
well.
the
How are you?
summer.
Yeah, enjoying the start of summer here too. It's good. I think I'm finally starting to get used to the sun. Only took 5 years. So it's good. Yeah, it's great to see. I can already see in the chats we got a bunch of people who are joining. It'd be really good to see where everybody's logging in from. Let us know, I guess, what countries, what cities you're logging in from. Okay, I can see a couple of familiar names here as well. We got some of the old crew still here. Luca from Italy, welcome. Okay, I can see we got plenty of questions around a trading platform. So I think, Tim, you might be able to shed a little bit of light later on. Let us know how we're getting on.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah. I suppose everybody get your questions in. We're here to answer as much as we can. And look, I guess I'm glad to be back. I haven't been obviously on an AMA for a while, but it's really good to get back and just to get contact again with the community, see the questions that everybody has in terms of what are you experiencing? What are the things that you're finding are good with our platform? What are the things that you think we could help and improve upon? And our goal is just to, as always, listen, learn from the experiences of our traders and really just try and provide the best product and the best service available. So it's good to be back for sure. But I think you've been in good hands with Petros and Tim over the last couple of months. So
I'd hope so. I'd hope so. Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, well, I think we can start answering a couple of the questions. Some people are asking, why are we doing a 1% payout minimum? Look, I think this rule we put in place at a certain time just because obviously there are complications in terms of kind of smaller payouts. If we're talking about crypto, depending on certain times, there's pretty high gas fees and transaction fees. And just we'd found just from time to time that the kind of low payout amount was just causing smaller than expected amounts to traders. And I suppose again our goal has always been for safe and consistent longer term traders, and so having that 1% as a goal is just something that obviously working towards, and then as soon as hitting that 1% payout, you're able to cash out immediately. It's just something that we're hoping obviously our traders are just going to be with us for quite a long time rather than getting a quick payout and then unfortunately tanking the account afterwards. So having that 1% there. However, we do know that this is obviously a query and a point for a lot of traders, and for our new challenge that we're looking at, we've been evaluating that. So I think you'll see next week in our new one phase that will be changed up a little bit. I believe, Tim, to $100.
Exactly. Yeah.
So obviously we've heard a lot of feedback on it. I think the $50 was causing difficulty, and I think $100 is kind of a nice place to be. So we're going to try it on the new one phase account, and then if it's working well there, we'll look to start rolling it out over different account sizes. Okay. Complaining. Okay. Tell me, why are guys complaining on Twitter you rejected a payout of 50,000 and block his account? If you resolve his problem, we all but here. Okay. So I don't believe I've seen a payout of 50,000 being blocked. I think what this might be referring to is somebody had a 50K account.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
But I believe in that scenario, we didn't actually block the account. It was just kind of a warning. Yeah, look, I guess it's maybe a good point to talk about our trading rules and I suppose just our general risk management. Of course, it's important for prop firms to make sure that obviously the traders that are coming in and trading on the accounts are managing their risk effectively on the account. And realistically, it's not just for us; it is for the traders as well. I know a lot of people have been commenting around the 30% margin rule that we've been talking about. And even I suppose a lot of people are wondering, why have we been communicating about it so much? I think the main reason is just purely because we are trying to be as clear and transparent as possible. Our goal is not to have any hidden rules. We want any of the rules that we do have clear and apparent to everybody as they're trading. But realistically, if let's say you've got a 100K account, or let's just take even for any account, whether it's funded or your own money, realistically, you know, trading between 2 and 5% is kind of known as the standard of where good risk management is at. And so making sure that you're conserving your capital and you're allowing for swings in the market. Obviously, we're talking about leveraged accounts, and so if you're applying more than 30% of your account on a single trade or in a single asset, it's just enormous risk, and our goal is to encourage and focus on safe and consistent trading. And we want our traders to be trading that funded account for a longer term. Our goal is never, and I think anybody who's been on our AMAs for a long time will know that we've always focused on, having traders not churn and burn accounts, but we want people to come in, take the evaluation, pass into the funded account, and then just continue to get payouts on that funded account. And so, by trading 30% and more, it's just taking huge risks. And that it is effectively gambling at that point. You're taking an enormous risk, and then either it works out or the account blows up. And it's just not part of, the way that we're hoping people will interact with FunderPro. Our goal, again, is just to have people get funded. It takes hard work. It takes people 2-3 weeks on average to get funded. And so with that being the case, we don't want people to continuously spend 3 weeks. Let's stay in the market, take smaller risks, but just maintain your funding and get paid out longer term. Okay, you're taking smaller risks. It means smaller returns in the short term, but you can cash in on 10, 15, 20 payouts, and that then in the long term, you're still earning more money in that way. So this is the reason why we focused on the 30% rule. We think to be honest, it's already still very high in terms of good risk management, but it's just a rule that we believe is important to have for your safety and for our safety and for everybody's safety in terms of the capital. Will MT5 be available for all? Tim?
Yeah, Petros, you want to take this?
Yeah, yes,
Just
I will take that.
Answer on potato.
So Almost. So unfortunately, the platform provider itself has some restrictions, and those who are actually based in the territory of USA will not be able to have the ability to trade under MT5. We are actually trying very hard to negotiate that term with MetaQuotes, which is the actual provider of the platform. Until today, as of now, they have not accepted of our request. We will keep trying, but as we stand, the biggest possibility that is that next week that we will have MT5, the US-based clients will not be able to use it. All the rest should be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I guess, some trading platforms just do have restrictions in terms of where they want to offer their product. And, I know that a lot of people and a lot of firms would have had ways of getting MetaTrader and offering it. But I'm sure people will have seen the experience where the server is live for a couple of weeks and then it goes offline, and then they need to switch account again and again and again. And we never did that because it was very short term and just a bad experience. And our goal was making sure that we got a direct relationship with MetaTrader and making sure that we're offering a high service. So they do have restrictions, and we'll be obviously sticking to those restrictions. But then obviously for everybody else, it'll be the main label service, direct server. So providing a high quality service. Righty. Let's see what else. All right, Tim, this is definitely
leverage for gold and Forex. Yeah. So Forex will be the pretty standard 1 to 100. I don't think there's any big surprises there. And metals, so gold included, will be at 1 to 30. So also I think pretty standard, is in line with the rest of our products.
Maybe
and
Tim, you can. I saw
yeah.
I saw a question about the so-called phase one and the consistency rule of the percentage. Maybe it's a good opportunity for you to explain what's coming and what are the changes, generally speaking, because I saw a couple of related questions.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the people here might have seen the email going out yesterday announcing the new one phase. So a couple of questions we can address. First, there on Monday, so definitely the date, big week next week for that. And another reason, we'll launch a new version of the one phase product. So anyone who's currently in a one phase will remain with the current challenge, but we'll offer a new version of that one phase. And that means a lower profit target. All of this was driven by feedback. We saw comments on the previous AMAs. We spoke to our affiliates, traders. We got feedback on Discord. And this product is pretty much the result of, listening to you guys and hearing what people think the one phase should look like. So the main change that I think people will be very happy about is the profit target will drop from 14% to 10%. So much more in line with what else is on the market, much more reasonably achieved than the 14%. For that, also in line, kind of what Gary touched on earlier, to manage risk well on a lower profit target. The daily and overall drawdown will be at 3 and 6%, down from what I believe is 4 and 7 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the next big thing, I think that was the point we got the most very firm feedback on, was the consistency rule at 15%. And that's going to go up to 40% now. So now again, you're at a point, if you have a good couple of sessions, you can again pass the one phase, possibly within 3 days, based on the consistency rule. Of course, other risk parameters still apply, so don't go gambling, don't go firing. But if you manage your risk well and you pick your trades well, you can pass it within 3 days. That said, also it'll come with the new add-on we released a few weeks ago, giving you a higher profit share if you want. And the main change is kind of also going into another question. We saw a question about discontinuing daily rewards. That is not the case, but now we're giving you the choice. So the regular two-phase with the daily rewards, that'll stay in place. We're not touching it. If daily rewards or daily plus, we also want to point out a lot of firms advertise daily payouts. That means you may be able to request a reward once a day, but then there's a turnaround time of 24 to 48 hours. You might have to wait. You're limited to one a day. It's easy to slap the label daily on there, but what FunderPro does, we have effectively what one could call like daily plus or on-demand rewards. If you make 5 trades in a day and you want a payout, every time after this trade, you can get that payout. So it's not just daily, it's truly on demand. But that said, the feedback we got for some, that's very important. And I imagine they will continue trading on the two-phase. For others, not so much. They spoke out in favor of those conditions, arguably easier parameters or a different risk profile. And for them in this new one-phase product, we'll offer bi-weekly payouts, so every 2 weeks. But there's also going to be an add-on where you can get that down to 1 week if that suits you better. Beyond that, nothing much changes. Leverages, as we just explained, 1 to 100 on Forex, 1 to 30 on metals, energies, and indices, 1 to 2 on cryptos. I think there's no big surprise there. And yeah, for us, again, it's pretty much a trial run. We got all this feedback. We compiled this challenge. We ran it by a lot of our trusted traders to get their feedback. We got a very positive response. So we're all super excited to launch this on Monday. And again, like we kind of what led us to do this, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what your feedback is after you actually go and trade the product. Yep. And if we find out people hate it, people need to get paid or need to get a reward 5 times a day, and this is key on every product, then that's something we're going to be open to reversing and going back to that model. But again, what we've heard is kind of people like to choose, see what's most important to them. Yep. And this is just about giving you the choice.
Yeah. What I'd love to ask actually is, I suppose if you can leave a comment here, one of the things we're trying to do is offer a balance, and of course, the more traders that we've had, we just have all different types of traders now. And so, offering daily payouts or daily plus, as Tim is saying, it does come with having that higher challenge criteria, just because it's obviously a huge benefit to traders. But of course, we need to manage then the account size, and we need to manage, I suppose, the traders that are coming through need to be, that more safe and consistent. And there just is the demand for, for traders who are looking for a product that has, similar, I suppose, towards where a lot of the market is in terms of the challenge criteria, the 10% instead of that 14% pass rate percentage. And so obviously then, that comes with offering the bi-weekly payouts or weekly payouts. So it would be great to see in the comments, how do you feel about that? Because obviously it's our first time offering non-daily payouts. So it'd be good to see, how do you feel about non-daily payouts, but the challenge not being so hard versus our standard offering where we've got daily payouts and, that little bit harder criteria because of that. How do you make sure it stays fair for current users? Look, of course, our goal whenever we're changing rules, and this is obviously something Tim and the team are working very hard on, is to make sure that we're not having such an effect on our existing traders. Our goal is to create a new challenge type, do an update, and not have that affect people who are in an existing challenge. So it's may seem pretty straightforward, but Tim and the team are working quite hard to make sure that that happens. So yeah, like I guess in the current one phase, if somebody is in a challenge, you might just experience once you pass the challenge, normally you'd get an account immediately issued. It's just going to have to be done by one of our support team for those people who are still in a challenge. So a little bit of manual work that's going to happen, but you know, your experience isn't going to change. You'll still get the challenge criteria and then the funded account that you joined. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, so you offer unlimited time on challenges, but you also shut down accounts after 30 days of inactivity. What's the reason there? Yeah, look, really, it's just general housekeeping, I suppose. You know, as I'm sure you can understand, we've got thousands, tens of thousands of people taking challenges, and quite a lot of time. A challenge will be, let's say, maybe it's in drawdown, so it's not fully gone. It's in drawdown, but people have moved on, and so just leaving that account there just has a kind of a load on our server. It's got a load on the trading platform, and so by clearing off accounts that are 30 days or more inactive, it just manages, I suppose, that weight and keeps it reduced for people who have just made the decision not to continue trading that account. So general housekeeping, but obviously you can just go in on day 29 and place 0.01 lot trade and close it immediately. That maintains the account and it keeps it running. So, you know, if you want to maintain the account, if your trading strategy is based over a couple of months and you just want to wait until the market conditions match what way your trading style is, you can keep it alive. You just need to go in, log a trade, and that's all you need to do.
I'm seeing someone asking if there's a payout change for all challenges. Now, just to reiterate, we're just trialing bi-weekly payouts only on the new one-phase product. So
Correct.
daily rewards will still be there. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, look, the goal here is to increase choice. So we're trying it out. Maybe people enjoy it less. You know, and again, we'd love to hear your feedback. We always do. So tell us if you think it's better. Tell us if you think it can improve in any way, and we'll for sure. We'll for sure see what we can do. Now, what's different for us trade locker traders? Yeah, look, we have been communicating with MetaTrader the whole time, and really it just has become a point now where they have an appetite to start offering it again as a main label. That's what they call it, direct solution for us. And so we're taking the opportunity to bring it back. So this is the soonest that we've been able to get a direct license from MetaTrader. As we were saying before, there were obviously ways of getting not official licenses, but we weren't interested in doing that. We wanted to make sure that if we were going to bring it back, we'd be bringing it back, you know, officially with the backing of MetaTrader, and you know, bringing back a high customer experience. So yeah, look, in terms of your choice then between MetaTrader, CTrader, or TradeLocker, it really comes down to the preference and I guess, you know, the trading platform that you've learned with, because a lot of people learn on one trading platform and they just stay there. So it really is just a preference of which you prefer to use, whether that's MetaTrader, which a lot of people, still like and still want. TradeLocker, which is obviously continuing to grow and grow in their influence and the amount of brokers and prop firms that they're working with, and then CTrader, which again has quite a nice following too. So I can see somebody continues to ask the same question every 10 seconds. Will there be the 30% margin rule on the new one phase challenge as well? Yes, there will be. The rule is still there. Again, want to focus on the point that rule is there for good risk management and the protection of your account. Trading more than 30% really is just taking enormous risk and taking a gamble with that trading account. And so, yeah, it's there for your protection as much as ours. Good risk management, good standards is 2 to 5%. That's kind of the industry. Most educators will be educating on that risk level. And so, yeah, here we're just focused on advocating and trying to promote good risk management all of the time. Okay. With MT5's added tools, are there new restrictions on how we trade or automate strategies? Okay, I guess Tim Petros.
Yeah, I can take that. Nothing new actually. So effectively, the fully automated strategies, bots, EAs, whatever you want to call them, are not allowed only if they are clearly interfering into the trading strategy of each person. So in other words, if you're using a bot that it doesn't completely automates your trading and strategy is fine. So the same rules that we had so far will be applied also to the new platforms and the new challenges.
Can
you tell me how much spread? Oh, that's pretty specific.
Yeah,
I can take this one.
Yeah.
This one, we don't have a blanket answer. We can't fire out a number right now, but there's actually an easy way for you and everyone else to check. On our website, we give you CTrader and TradeLocker accounts you can use to log into that account and get a direct feed of the spread. I can show you this quickly on TradeLocker if you want to see. So I'm just logged into a challenge account, but it works the same for funded account or any challenge account. On the right, top right instrument panel, you can see all the spreads for the instruments you can trade, and they update in real time. So if you look up gold, for example, I can see the live spread for gold. Same for the cryptos below here. I can see the spread for cable. So that's an easy way for you to check. Again, you don't have to buy an account or spend any money to see this. On the FunderPro.com website, there's a page with login credentials for TradeLocker, or if you prefer CTrader, you log into a demo account and you can look at the spreads. So if you want to make sure that this works before you buy, we're being transparent and you can check them out anytime.
Yeah. Look, as always, look, we're focused on trying to get as good execution as we can. In recent months, we have connected with 2 new liquidity providers, some of the biggest in the market. And so our goal is really just to get access to the liquidity and the trading conditions that, again, the better conditions we can provide, obviously the happier everybody is, and when we're sending trades out to market, we can fulfill them at the best the best conditions. So our goal is good spreads. I think we have reduced spreads within the previous couple of months, and again, I suppose there's a push now. Obviously, it's the one thing that everybody asks for, and you know, like the main point, I suppose, is to give as good a conditions as we can, while also understanding that, you know, in some places, and you will always be able to compare, you know, it's very common, it's known in the broker industry and it's known in other industries where the spreads are looking fantastic until you go ahead and trade, and you know, then things don't turn out the way that you believe that they're going to be. Our goal is always to distribute these spreads really that we're getting from our liquidity provider, knowing that we can execute trades at that actual condition. So yeah, we're focused on always just trying to give you the best conditions that we can. Okay, so trade idea, can we explain it?
Yeah, so I think there's been a recent change that we can elaborate on a little bit to clear that up for Sarah and everyone else. So it also relates to the margin rule. What is in effect now? Effectively, we're looking at the margin usage not per trade idea, but not on an individual instrument basis, but across an asset class. You know, a lot of assets, a lot of symbols one could trade are heavily correlated, meaning if you take a trade in one, odds are another instrument will behave very similarly. So we're now grouping this margin rule by asset class. An example, I'm not sure what a good example would be. I suppose a trade in commodities or metals, you might, or especially, I think last week we saw a lot of dollar weakness, a lot of metals, you know, rallied in light of that. So it's hard as a provider or like, as a trader to separate them from another. If there's dollar weakness, metals might rally, and for that we apply the margin rule per asset class instead of individual trade.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we were talking about trade idea, and it was a little bit confusing. So yeah, as Tim was saying, we've now tried to clarify it and just talking about the groupings. But again, I suppose you know, good risk management is always the focus, and so you know, the 30% shouldn't be a target. The goal here is to say, look, that is the amount within the rules that's allowed, but we're always just trying to say, look, take good risk management, make sure that you're able to you know, because at the end of the day, we don't win or we don't make profit on every single trade, and you want to make sure that, you know, you can go through 2, 3, 4, 5 trades without blowing your account, you know, because you can always have a bad run of it. It happens to every trader, and just making sure that you're able to stay funded in that account. Don't go heavily into drawdown, and just, you know, be able to go back and make some more profit again. Okay, do we see? Can I have my account logged into multiple devices at the same time? So traders asking, yeah, can they log into their, I guess, their trade locker account on multiple devices?
Tim, you want to take it?
Well, at the same time, I'm not sure how trade locker behaves, but there's no, you know, it's not a policy against doing this. You know, you're not doing anything bad. I'm just not sure how trade locker will behave. It might lock you out of one session if you start a new one, but for sure you can log into another device while connected on on the first device, you might just lose connection on the first device. But worst case, you have an active session on one device at one time, and that should be just fine.
Is there any IP rules if I logged in only one device? Yeah, look, I guess maybe that is asking questions around some traders like to use VPSs and try to make sure that, from an execution perspective, they're getting strong execution. Again, we don't have specific restrictions around that. The main thing is just obviously, yeah, look, we do see IPs. We do obviously keep an eye on them. And obviously just for general cases, having IPs ping-ponging around and having a lot of feedback on your account, it might raise questions from the team. Because again, our main point is that trading account is your trading account. You need to be the one trading it. We're not here to have people using external bots or external traders trading on behalf of their account and having copy traders, where 20 or 30 accounts are being traded from one trader somewhere else. So the goal is that trading account is yours. Obviously, you can use a VPS, but the point is that that trading account needs to be yours and you need to trade it.
There is a question, probably forgot it. Why did you guys start FunderPro? Somebody's asking.
Yeah. So look, I guess why we started FunderPro, we were providing technology for prop firms for around a year and a half before that. Tim was there with us in the early days as well while we were getting everything set up. And yeah, look, really, we could just see that there was an issue with trust in the market. This was at the time of my Forex funds and a couple of other scenarios, which just caused a low level of trust within the market. And really, our goal was just to offer a place for traders to come, and if they deserved a payout, they got a payout. If they passed the challenge and they managed to get through and they were managing their account effectively, they were getting their payouts as they should. And so really that's been our ethos from day one, is just providing a service and a place for traders to come and safely manage their accounts. And so like questions like being a little bit greedy, good or bad, I guess, focusing on what I guess anybody who's ever seen me on an AMA, I just constantly repeat the words safe and consistent. Because, we've been backing traders with real capital, and the thing about it just is that, in whatever way that the traders are trading the account, in whatever way the execution is happening, we just need to make sure that traders are being safe and consistent. You need to manage your capital effectively so that you have a good experience, so that you can stay funded for a long time and consistently get your daily payouts. And for us, we can continue providing a solid service to everybody. We've never been in the market to offer the cheapest and easiest accounts and to allow everybody and their dog to pass the challenge. We've been looking for safe and consistent traders to get funded and to just really drive, make profit, earn. And so, yeah, that's why we started the company. That's what we're still trying to do today. We're consistently trying to innovate with our product. And look, as you'll see from our new phase 1 that we're going to be launching next week, we're just trying to continuously offer new products that we can just we can see, okay, do you like this? Give us feedback. Let us know if you prefer it. Would you prefer something different? And the more feedback that we can get from our customers, the better the service that we can provide. And so, yeah, that's always our goal. So we got a question on the screen. New one-phase challenge will be cheaper than the existing one-phase challenge? Question mark.
Sure.
Tim, you got the sheet?
It'll be a little bit cheaper. You know, again, try not to be greedy, trying to be fair. We obviously looked at the product as a whole with the lower profit target, but also the biweekly payouts, for example. So taking everything into account for our risk profile, we adjusted the pricing a little bit. So yeah, it will be cheaper by a small amount.
Okay, Petros, one for you. In FunderPro Futures, you have daily payouts?
Not yet. So as we stand over there, we have a rule, and obviously it's also written clearly on the website of futures that there needs to be a 5 days of $200 profitable day. So you need to have $200 per day for 5 days in a row. And if you do that 3 times, then we as FunderPro don't have any limit on the amount that you can withdraw, while other companies in the space have some cap into their rewards. We do not, considering that somebody will prove to us the consistency. So effectively, the logic of daily reward in the futures kicks off when you actually have 5 days profitable, right? So it can happen in 6 days, it can happen in 20 days. Whenever it happens, you can claim your reward. It's not exactly the same as the CFD rule.
Alrighty, let's see if we can find another question in here.
Somebody is asking if there is no max risk per trade, as long as I follow 30% margin. So yeah, once again, the 30% is per asset class. I believe we have also an example in our website, but I can also mention it here. So let's take that an example that somebody is long on euro dollar and on GBP USD and on gold. All 3 of them are long. So the 30% rule applies on each asset class. So in this example, Euro USD and GBP USD should be maximum 30%, both of them together. And gold itself, which is another asset class, falls under metals, that's another 30%. Hope that clarifies. So it's not per trade, it's per asset class.
Okay. Love the firm still. Nice. These are the types of comments we like. Yeah, Tim, I guess maybe is there anything coming through on a product side or anything exciting that we might want to start sharing or even getting a little bit of feedback from?
Let me quickly see what we have in the pipeline for this quarter. I mean, of course, we're kind of starting off with, arguably a bit of a bang. The new product on Monday, big new trading platform next week, that being MetaTrader 5. Also looking at other trading platforms, again, looking to expand that. As our platform matures, there's fewer and fewer things that we have to build in the platform itself. And things like new platform integrations, auxiliary integrations become more and more important. So, and kind of what you said earlier about giving choice to people, that's most important to us. I can say that we're working on another challenge type that I think people will also like. That one we weren't ready to announce yet this week, but that's also coming very soon. We also want to get a little bit of feedback, at least after the launch of the new one phase next week. And then I would imagine, possibly even within 1 week, we'll announce that new challenge there.
Yeah.
One change we're going to make this quarter, I think that's going to help a lot of people too. Even though we're easing up the consistency rule, right now it is based on like equity swings over the daily period, which doesn't always make it intuitive to understand, where you started and where you ended. So we're going to move the consistency rule to be based on balance in a future update as well. That's going to give everyone a clear idea from this time of the day up until this time. That's the period we look at. And you have your trading log on your trade account page. So you see exactly which trades you took, your profit loss on those trades. And then you understand how much profit you made in that day and where your consistency percentage is what it is. I'm just seeing what else we have. For like the next couple of weeks, that covers it. The team's pretty busy with MetaTrader 5, of course, and the 2 new challenges. Those are pretty big changes for us, and we're very excited to see how they go and what everyone's feedback is after we launch them.
Well, I think stick to the end, and I think you will be pleasantly surprised. But you got to ask us the question. That's not really a question. So you need to ask us a constructive question, and we will then see if you are included. Introduce a pro type. Raw spreads and commission per lot type. Yeah. I think, look, I think that's quite interesting in terms of offering different execution as well. So look, something that we're focused on now is obviously changing account types by challenge criteria, just so that we can give different variations. But I think over time as well, things like pro accounts is definitely something. It'd be interesting to see here as well. Would anybody be interested in other types of accounts? I know that Islamic accounts, would that be something of interest to our traders? Or is there any other variations that you think could be a nice trading conditions to have? Okay, do we have any other questions in here?
I think one we can mention, a bit more of a teaser than anything else, but please add weekly free tournament/competition. For anyone who's been with us more or less from the beginning, you might remember that at one point we used to run monthly competitions. And that's also something we're working on with platforms like TradeLocker and MetaGroats at the moment to bringing back. Commercially speaking, it wasn't really clear how platforms could structure this, so it would make financial sense for providers like us to offer this. But now there's been a bit of a shift in the consensus, and I think we're at a point soon where we can offer competitions again. I know that we're very popular with our users, and they're always fun to run. You know, it's fun to see how far people get in just 30 days. So we're just kind of finalizing the terms of how we could bring those back. But hopefully later this summer, we'll see competitions again.
Nice. I guess question, what value do you find from having a competition? Is it purely about the prize, or is it a learning experience? Do you find any value on the trading side, or what, is it purely about the prize? Have you considered a challenge that would be much easier? It would be easier to pass, but much more expensive. Yeah, it's not. Look, I suppose the point about how much it costs and how easy it is to pass, I think it's more so a focus on just having the right incentives. The goal is to, again, just create a good trading and funding environment for traders, and having a challenge that's super easy to pass is just not tends not to be something that promotes safe and consistent trading. And so it's less really about the price of the challenge and the easiness to pass of it, but more so just saying, okay, this is creating a good environment for safe and consistent traders to go ahead and make good returns on that account. And obviously, if you're in our phase 2, you can, in our 2-phase challenge, you can take those daily payouts as many times as you want during the day.
Okay, a quick question before you get into the broker question. Well, it's more like a request, and it's easy to answer. Change profit percentage 14 to 10% on current 1-phase account. Yeah, if you wait 4 more days, on Monday we're releasing a change to the 1-phase product. If you buy that, you'll have the 10% profit target down from 14, just as you asked. So very, very soon.
Nice. Okay. Does FunderPro have their own broker? It is something that we are hard at work on. And you will see you might have seen from some press releases that we've done. Yeah, it's something that we are specifically working on. So our goal is to give a fully rounded solution. And so if we can, help our traders in, FX funding or futures funding, or from a regular brokerage account, our goal is just to offer as much a variety as we can, so that for every type of trader, we have an account or we have a challenge that suits your trading goals at this point in time. So yeah, we are in the process. I'm going to say, because everybody knows I love to throw out a date that then the team get angry with me for. I'm going to say 3 months, which is probably a fairly conservative amount of time. But yeah, I think we are a couple of months off. We're working hard to make sure that we got the right payment methods, the right trading platforms, and so we want to make sure that the experience is good before we get launched. So we're here to make sure that our goal is just for as many traders as possible. We want to just offer variety, something that says, okay, I want to trade my own funds for now. Okay, there's the brokerage account, and so on. Please remove the margin rule of 30%. Unfortunately, no. Look, and again, I think the point is you know, trading with larger exposure than that is just putting your trading account at risk. And so, you know, I think the one focus that I'd like to have is to say, when we're putting rules in place on challenge accounts, we're not just putting rules there to limit traders just because, you know, our goal is to create rules and create a trading environment that promotes safe and consistent trading. We want you to stay funded in that funded account for a long time. We want you to, you know, be able to take multiple payouts and keep trading. And you know, if you take a couple of losing trades, you can weather that storm. You can get back into profit, and you can start taking your payouts again on that account. You know, we have never wanted to or created an environment for people to churn and burn accounts where you're buying 10 accounts, you pass 3, you make profit on 1, and it pays you for all of those accounts. That's not the type of trading environment that we want to facilitate, that we want to promote. Our goal here is to promote traders who want to just make trading their 9 to 5, make it their day job, and not have it, you know, be able to get that financial freedom and move into the market and not have to work 2 jobs. This is the environment that we wanted to create, and we believe that doing it in a safe and steady way is a much better way of doing it than, you know, buying those 10 accounts. And so the margin rule at 30% just promotes that safety. And I think, you know, again, if you're looking at, like, anybody who will have looked at baby pips or any of the other trading education, taking that risk of 2 to 5% is always the advised place to be. And so, you know, again, 30% is more than more than high, and we would always be just promoting people to, you know, be conservative, take low risk on that account, and just continue to be able to get that reward over time. Account is, well, I purchased new, please clear. Okay, so somebody is asking, will the profit percentage change on their current one phase account or not? No, anybody who's in an existing account, the profit target won't change. You'll maintain on that same account. Also, the drawdown limits and the daily plus funding payouts is going to remain in place. So anybody who's in an existing account and you go ahead and pass that account, you will still get daily payouts. And if you want to go ahead and take the new challenge once it's available, then you'll get the new conditions. So anybody who's in an existing challenge now, nothing will change. You'll keep getting the same environment that you've already received, and then anybody who takes a new challenge, you'll get the new criteria. Okay, do we have any other questions? Okay, actually, looks like we're kind of running out of time here. So Alex, I think, has been working away in the background. Yeah, maybe we can see. We had people asking, are we going to run a competition? for anybody who has been asking questions. Yeah. One last question that I see popping up here. Can I hold trade for 1 year on a swing account? Technically, yeah. I'm sure you'll get hit with a lot of overnight fees. And so I don't know. Again, I don't know what trading strategy would have you where you're holding a single trade for a year. In theory, you can, but I'd say focus on a clear trading strategy that is backed by your data. Okay, I can see Alex is prepping in the background. So what else have we got here? Bro wants to hold BTC. Maybe that's why he's sitting on that trade for a year. I think. Yeah. Well, I think there's definitely effective ways of holding Bitcoin for a year. What's your company planning in the next 5 years? And why did you decide to get rid of the loyalty program? So let's tackle the first one first. What are we planning in the next 5 years? Really, our goal is just to continue offering a good service to traders, continue to listen, and where we can, we just want to really just offer services that are that are good for traders. Again, always just trying to focus on not always about what's popular. I think if if we were going for popular, we would have had easy and fast challenges to pass and for cheap, but not offering a good funding service in the end. This is what's popular. What has been actually great for traders has been daily payouts. And so it's always just trying to find, where do people find value, and really then just trying to figure out a way to offer that value to traders. So that's what we're trying to do right now. We're diversifying in terms of futures, in terms of broker, to offer more offerings. We're looking at new challenge types, as Tim was talking about, and really just trying to listen to people and put in place the right environment. Like Ray Dalio is saying, their value. Good to see Ray Dalio is tuned in.
Okay, another question that we saw, I think something similar earlier. What happens when you don't get your daily payout on that day? And I think there was a question kind of, don't daily rewards incentivize overtrading and making bad decisions? But so daily payouts don't mean that you have to claim it every day. If you want, you can claim 5 in a day. But if you trade twice a week, or if you trade once a week, or even if you trade infrequently, you get to choose when you ask for a payout. If you want to run up your account and then ask for your reward, that's fine too. If you want to ask for one every time you hit $100 or 1% in profit, you can as well. So the choice is yours. There's no requirement to get paid daily, but you can get paid daily if you like.
Mm-hmm. I think I put Alex on the spot. I think maybe we hadn't had things planned in the background, and now Alex is under a little bit of pressure, but we will give him a little bit more time. So yeah. So as somebody is saying, it means that freedom to withdraw anytime. Yeah, and I think that's exactly what Tim was saying.
That's good.
So it's freedom to withdraw whenever, whenever you've achieved that 1%, or soon whenever you've achieved that $100, you just have the freedom to withdraw that profit. Yeah. Alrighty. Okay. Somebody is asking in the channel, and I'd put this to people in the comments. Why do you trade? I think it's an interesting thing to see from our community. Why do you guys trade? What are you? What's your goals? What are you trying to achieve? As you're coming into FunderPro for an account, what are you actually trying to achieve? Are you hoping to have this as your day job? Are you hoping to have this as extra capital on the side? What are you guys trying to achieve?
To make money. Duh. Fair enough.
All right, cool. Yeah, I think you can comment just once, not 5 times. All righty.
Enough money to buy the company in 10 years. Love the
Absolutely.
ambition. Very good. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I hope you're going to be a very, very profitable trader.
Okay, also very nice. I trade to make enough money to start my own business. I think
Super cool.
Very valid case. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, it's really good. We've had really nice conversations with some of our funded traders, and it's just really nice to see the stories that people have. They've been able to move country. They've been able to quit their job and go ahead and trade full time. So it's been fantastic to see the journey that some of our funded traders have been on. Alex, the main man.
Hey, I was replying comments. That's why it took so long. But I want to publicly thank Antonio for doing this.
Yeah.
He saved the day today. Okay, what are we giving away?
Okay, I'm gonna say 2 challenges. You can pick the amounts.
Oh, you don't want me to pick the amount, so I'm a trader. You know what amount I'm going to pick.
Go for it. Pick whatever you think is appropriate.
Yeah, I'd say let's give, because we're celebrating MT5, right?
Let's do it.
So let's give 1 10K and 1 25K. But before we start, I've got it here. So this is, if you get picked, you have to go on Discord. And this is the username. You have to hit me up to claim your award. Okay? Make sure you don't pick any scam accounts or anyone. Okay? All right.
Okay. Harry.
So Harry is the first winner. There you go. Second winner. And he gets a 10K. Now let's see 25K. Oh, let's hope it's not
FunderPro.
We're
trying to give ourselves a prize.
Yeah. That slipped through the cracks. But anyway, so Ganapathy got the 25K.
Nice.
Okay, so hit me up on Discord and claim your prize.
Yeah, well, look, good to be back. Good to be back talking to the community. And yeah, look, I guess from everybody at FunderPro, thank you so much for contributing today. Thank you so much for being a part of the community and being traders with us for, these two plus years. And yeah, we're looking forward to the next time we talk. From everybody here at FunderPro, all the best.
Nice.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Have a
See
good
you guys.
evening. Bye-bye.